Hey folks, you may have noticed that a lot of my products have my name stamped on the bottom of them. Now, this technique can really elevate your designs and it's super easy to do in Blender. So let me show you how you can stamp text on your models too. Okay folks, so the first thing you want to do is open up the model you want to stamp your text to. I am going to use my dice tray from my dice tray tutorial. If you haven't checked that out, I recommend it. It's very good. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is hit Shift A and we're going to add some text. You'll see that that pops up right here. Now, if I go into edit mode, I can delete that text and put whatever I want. I am going to put Copper Thumb. Now you'll see it goes off the screen because it's absolutely massive. So if we go back into object mode, hit scale, let's scale that right down, zoom in, scale it even further. I'm going to hit 7 for top view, and you'll see here that it's off center because it's sort of left aligned. Now we can alter that by going into the panel on the side here, going down to the lowercase a, which is the text data panel, and we can alter its positioning by, if you scroll down to alignment, paragraph alignment, you'll see it's horizontal. Let's change that to center and then vertical. And then the vertical, let's change it to the middle. So now smack bang in the middle of my model, which is exactly what I want. Okay, looking great here. Now, also in this panel, if you wanted to change the font to something else, you absolutely could. You can hit this little folder icon and search and change it to whatever font you would like. For the purposes of this, I'm just going to use the default font. Now, I want this to stamp to the bottom of my model, so I need it to be the other way around, otherwise it's going to stamp backwards. So what I'm going to do is, while I'm in object mode, I'm just going to rotate it 180 on the y-axis. Now it is backwards from the top, but if I look at the bottom of the model, you'll see there that it is the correct way of where it's going to be stamped. Now, one last thing, I'm going to hit G to grab it, and I'm going to grab it on the z-axis, and I'm just going to pull it away from the model a little bit. Now, right now, it is a 2D object, so it will not stamp anything because we need to stamp into the model with some additional geometry. So what we can do is, in the same panel, in the same text panel, we want to find the geometry tab, and then we want to find the extrude. And if you click that and just scroll it a little bit, you will see, like magic, it scrolls out. So you don't need to go too far here. It actually doesn't need to be exact. It just needs to have enough geometry that when we sync it into our model, it is going to leave have enough of a lip to basically leave the stamp. And you'll see what I mean by that right now. So if I sort of, I could extrude it this much, or I could extrude it this much. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to have it this much right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit G and Z, and I'm going to lower it into my model, and you'll see I'm just going to lower it just a tiny bit so it's just touching in the model there. I'm actually going to bring it up a little bit. This way, when I remove this model, and I remove it by using the next modifier, which is the boolean modifier, it's going to leave an indent just as much as we've sunk it into our model. Now, how do you do that? Let me show you right now. So what we do is we first need to make sure that we're happy with the positioning and we're happy with the font and the text, because right now this is a text element that has been extruded. If I go into edit mode, you can see that I can still edit it, but we need this to be an actual mesh. So to convert it to a mesh, once we're happy with the placement and the text and all of that and the size, we can go into it and hit convert to mesh. Now when I go into edit mode, you'll see that I can't change it by like deleting the text or anything. It has converted the whole thing into a regular mesh that we can now play around with. Now you'll see here that it's kind of complex. It's a little bit messy. It's not great, but it will work for our purposes. So back in object mode, I am now going to click on the object I want to stamp into. For me, that is the bottom of this tray. Once that is highlighted, we're going to go into the modifiers panel, the little wrench. We are going to go to add modifier, and we're going to add a boolean modifier set to difference. Now, with the tray selected, or the base selected for me, or whatever your object is, you're going to hit the little eyedropper, and then you are going to highlight the object that you have now converted from text to a mesh, and select that. And now, hopefully, when I hide the text, it will have left an indent in the model. Don't panic if it hasn't. I'm going to show you ways to fix it. So if I hit hide, oh, it hasn't worked. Okay, so a few things we can do here. The easiest thing is for the solver, change that to float. And there you have it. It has popped up right there. And we now have an indent in our model. Now that indentation is controlled by the text element that we have hidden up here. So you see, if I open that and I select this and I hit GZ and bring that down further and then hide it again, you'll see that I have an even deeper indent. Now, the trick to this, especially if you're 3D printing these objects, is you basically want it to be as I mean, you can have it indented as much as you want and play around with this, but for me, I basically want it to be just under. So when I print this flat, it doesn't need any supports, but it will leave that little indentation right in our model. So if I hide that again, and there you have it. If you can see that. And that is basically all you need to do to be able to indent your models with text. And there you have it, folks. That is the easiest way to stamp text into the bottom of your models. If you found this helpful, please like, subscribe, ring the bell. I'm doing new tutorials every week on all sorts of things Blender related, 3D printing related. Now, if this doesn't work for you perfectly, if there are letters missing or it looks a little bit janky, do not worry. The boolean tool is a little bit haphazard in the way that it works. Sometimes you need to move it in and out of your model. Sometimes you need to change to a different font. If it's a bit too complex, the geometry won't mesh together and it doesn't always work. So have patience, move it in and out. It will work for you. Just keep trying, keep experimenting. The boolean modifier is not perfect, but it will work for us if we give it some love. So anyway, I've been Copper Thumb. You've been awesome. I'll see you in the next tutorial.